And if at any point you can't see me or hear me or anything, just let me know. And of course, we'll troubleshoot from there. So as you find a seat, go ahead and shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Allow them to fall down your back, softening through the neck, through the shoulders, close the eyes. And take a deep breath in, either through your nose, through your mouth, fill all the way up to the top. And open up your mouth if it's closed, empty all the way out until you reach the bottom of your exhale, like you're pressing just a little more air out. And then take a deep breath in again, a little bigger. Long breath out. Exhale, and then we'll just breathe in for the count of 3, 2, 1. All the way out. 3, 2, 1. Do one more like that. Breathe all the way in. So we build that bigger capacity. And then exhale. 3, 2, 1. And then breathe naturally on your own, but just notice how maybe you're a little more aware of your breath, a little more aware than you were before. And throughout your time on your mat today, because it's like the beginning of the year, it's like this symbolic new start, even though getting on your mat might feel familiar. What can you sort of like look at or think of that might feel a little bit new to you? There's something you'd like to set as an intention for this practice. We often think of like our full year and we're like, this is our full year. This is what I'll do all year long. But as we know, like sometimes that's not always sustainable. Yes, it can be something we want to focus on. What I'd like to offer up is like thinking of your practice today here as like a beginning, but also just an opportunity to be right where you are. So you can reflect on, yes, what already happened, and you can look forward ahead, but find contentment in this sort of symbolic beginning. Again, take a breath in. Long breath out. And slowly just drop your chin towards your chest. A little movement in the neck. Roll your right ear over to the right. And left ear over to the left. And start to just make slow, subtle movements there. Maybe you even start to make it bigger. And sometimes just moving our head around can start to like move things, right? Like that can be enough movement. If you want to make those movements a little bit bigger, come back through center and start to find cat-cow like movements here. So starting to send your chest forward, shoulders back, elbows back, maybe even lift your chin. And then rounding through the spine, leaning back slightly, dropping your chin to your chest. So moving through those two positions. And then if you want, you can even start to think of a circle around yourself, right? So 12 o'clock being forward, you'll rock forward. And then maybe moving your ribs or your torso over to 3 o'clock, back to 6, to 9, and then back to 12. So clockwise, you start to move your torso, thinking like cat-cow along the way. And then maybe starting to switch that direction, counterclockwise. So you're just warming up the spine in all different directions. And you pause in the middle. When you're ready, sit up a little bit taller. Take one more breath right here. Breathe all the way into the top. Awesome. Open up your mouth. Let that empty. And start to open your eyes if they aren't already open. Take in a little more light, but less distraction than before. And meet me on hands and knees, tabletop pose. Once you're there, spread your fingers nice and wide. Maybe even start to fan out your toes, roll the ankles around underneath you. Take a round of cat-cow here one more time, just to lift the heart, lift the chin on the inhale. And then exhale, press into your hands, round your back and drop your head. And come back to neutral. Tuck your toes under, start to lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So let this be an easy down dog. Bend the knees a lot. So you can find a little more freedom in the shoulders, freedom in the hamstrings, of course, and shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Take a breath in. Long breath out. One more like that. Huge inhale. Huge exhale. And then on your next breath in, rise up to your toes. So feel your heels lift a little more. And then just start to tiptoe your feet. You can bend your knees, of course, along the way. Tiptoe your feet forward. You'll land at the top of your mat in ragdoll. So again, shake your head, yes, no. Start to feel any pressure in your head, start to move all around. And then find a halfway lift when you're ready. Hands to your shins or your thighs, reach your chest forward. And then start to walk your hands up your thighs, stand all the way up at the top of your mat, finding mountain pose. Arms down along your sides, palms forward. Again, shrug your shoulders, breathe in. Open up your mouth. Nice sigh out. And then sweep your arms up and overhead, right hand to your left wrist. And first, I want you to press down through your left foot and then use your right hand to lift your left wrist a little higher towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, lean over to the right. Keep pressing down through your left foot. And then rise up, breathe in, and switch left hand to your right wrist. First, press down through your foot, reach through your fingertips, and then exhale over to the left. And inhale back up through center. Bend your knees and sit right into chair pose and bring your hands to your heart center. So as you lift your heart towards your thumbs, feel your chest broaden. Sit back like you're sitting in that chair. And then if you want to play with balance here, start to lift your heels up. We're coming like right into it. Starting to turn the legs on in a different way. Find the breath. And then drop your heels down, stand up, hook thumbs overhead, elbows wide like the letter O around your head. Maybe even lift your chin. And then exhale, soft knees, fold forward and drop the head down. Take a halfway lift, hands back to your shins, heart forward. And drop your hands down, but step your left foot back, coming into a lunge. You'll drop your left knee, sweep arms up and overhead. Take a deep breath in. Right hand comes to your left wrist, lean over to the right. So we're just deepening that side bend, but now we add in the front of your left hip, your hip flexors. And then you'll rise up for the inhale. Take your hands inside your right foot, finding lizard. So just a lower lunge here. I want you to rock your chest forward, lift your heart. And then exhale, pull your hips back and just pick your right toes up, just to find a deeper stretch in the hamstrings. So do that again, rock forward, lift the chest. And then exhale, pull the hips back, right toes pick up. Now you'll rock back forward. I want you to turn your back toes, your left toes, over to the right. Wiggle walk that foot in a little and then rise up to that modified sort of like warrior two. Awesome. Reverse it. Right hand will rise, drop the left hand down, maybe even look up. And then exhale, right forearm to your right thigh, left arm alongside your ear. So another way you can find more length in the obliques. Get a little bit longer, reach through your fingertips. One more breath in. And then come back to your arms out like a T here. Now drop your hands down towards the back of your mat. I want you to find tabletop pose facing the back of your mat. You're just going to switch things up. Take a breath in to lift your heart. Find cow. And then exhale, press into your hands, round your back. Find cat pose. Back to neutral. Tuck your toes. Float your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Coming right back in. Take a big inhale. Long exhale. So we're going to switch things up here. Start to lift your right leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Roll the right ankle, wiggle the toes. Now looking towards your right hand, I want you to step your right foot towards your right thumb or outside of your right hand. Your choice. Just big step there. And then you can wiggle walk it in. So nice. And then soften your left knee. Start to stand all the way up, finding high lunge here. So just a higher pathway. And then right hand to your left wrist, lean over to the right. So nice. And then come back up through center. Right away, you open up to warrior two. You're still facing the back of your mat. Your right knee is bent. And then reverse it. Right hand will rise, maybe even look up. And side angle, forearm to your thigh, left arm over your left ear. Now you press down through your left foot to reach through your left fingertips. One more inhale. Back to warrior two. Straighten the legs, parallel the feet. Reach the hands up over your head, maybe even look up. And then exhale, fold forward, drop your head down. So another opportunity here as you are inverted to shake your head. Yes. No, maybe inhale through the nose. Open up the mouth. I'll let something go, soften the jaw. And find your halfway lift on the inhale. See your left foot, frame it just for a moment, low runner's lunge. So just framing your foot, you're finding a lunge. Take a breath in, look forward. And then exhale, bring right foot to meet the left, or just separate the feet a little wider to fold here. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. Walk your hands up your thighs, stand all the way up. Sweep the arms out and up, big inhale to rise. And then exhale, sit back into chair pose. Hands come to your heart center. And find that steady point in front of you this time. Don't let your eyes move, maybe pick your heels up. Stay with breath. You're just here for 2 full rounds. In, out, maybe sit a little lower. Keep lifting through the heart. Last one, in. Long breath out. Awesome. And then drop your heels down, stand up, hook thumbs, elbows wide, lift the chest, a little back bend. And then through soft knees, fold back down. And take your halfway lift, breathe into lengthen. Bring your hands down and a big step back with the right foot this time. Drop your right knee, reach hands up and overhead. Left hand to your right wrist, lean over to the left. And then rise back up. Hands come inside that left foot, finding lizard. Maybe even wiggle walk that foot over to the left a little to create space in the hips. Rock forward, lift the chest. And then exhale, pull back, left toes pick up. Just moving through those 2 shapes. Inhale, rock forward, chest lift. And exhale, pull back. Rock forward, tuck the back toes. Or don't tuck the back toes, I lied. Take your back toes over to the left. Wiggle walk that left foot in a little bit towards the center of your mat and then rise up to that warrior two. sort of modified stance. And then the left hand will rise. Take a breath in, reverse it. Side angle, forearm to your thigh, right arm over your ear. I'll get really long here. Maybe you can like think about tipping over to the left a little more to feel that stretch from your knee through your fingertips on the right side. So nice. And then rise back up, arms out like a T. Just start to drop both hands down at the back of your mat. Tabletop pose. Lift your heart, cow. Round your back, cat. Come back to neutral, tuck your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in right here. Bigger exhale. And then lift your left leg up, three-legged dog. Roll the ankle, wiggle the toes. Start to look to your left hand, and then on your next exhale, step your foot there. Nice, and you can find your footing underneath you, finding your lunge. Soften your back knee. Pick your hands up and you'll rise up. See if you can press down through your left foot or your left big toe rather, a little bit more for balance. And then left hand to your right wrist, lean over to the left. Breath in to rise back up. And then warrior two, still facing the back of your mat. Your left knee is bent this time. And then reverse warrior, left hand rises. Side angle, forearm to your thigh, right arm over your ear. Press down through your foot, reach through your hand a little more. And then it's back to warrior two. Straighten your legs, parallel your feet. Either arms overhead or hands come behind you and they interlace. So whatever your upper body's craving, you take it and fold forward. Let your head drop. Take a full inhale. Soften your jaw, soften your neck as you exhale. And just let the weight of your head hang heavy. And take your hands underneath your shoulders, halfway lift. See your right foot, frame it at the top of your mat. Take one inhale just to look forward. And then exhale, step your left foot up to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Walk hands up your thighs, stand all the way up. Mountain pose for a moment. Spread your toes nice and wide. Shrug your shoulders on the inhale. Open your mouth, clear it out. And start to shift your weight into your left foot and bring your right knee up. Hug it in towards your chest. Just sort of stand up nice and tall here. So nice. And then drop that knee down about hip height. And you can stay right here or take left hand outside your right knee and reach your right hand behind you, just finding a standing twist. Awesome. And then reach your right arm up. Let it cross on top of the left. And then lift your fingertips. Find eagle arms and stack your right leg on top of the left. And you can even bring your right big toe to the ground. And that's enough. You're finding eagle pose, but I want you to really focus on not so much the balance, but more so the hugging in action of the inner thighs. And take one more breath in wherever you are. And then exhale, release it. Shake that out. And find mountain pose, a moment on 2 feet. Again, breathe in. Long exhale out. And you get to shift your weight to the right foot. First, hug your left knee in towards your chest. Find that steady point in front of you to stare at. It helps. And then you'll just drop that right or the left knee down in line with your hip. Right hand comes outside of that knee. And you twist. Reach your left hand back. Embrace all the wobbles. And then when you're ready, left arm will rise, but just enough to then cross on top of the right. Find eagle arms, find eagle legs. Hug everything in towards your center. And then your most important thing is your breath. So just here for 2. Last 1. Unravel it all. Stamp that left foot. Sweep the arms out and up. Big breath in. So look up. And then just hands to your heart center for a moment to pause. A breath in to fill up. Open your mouth. Clear it out. Sweep the arms out and up last time, just to really reach up a little higher. Maybe lift your heels higher. And then drop your heels down as you fold. Take a halfway lift. Hands come down. Step back to downward facing dog. Again, maybe shake your head. Yes. No. Pull forward to plank. And then knees on or off your mat. Lower all the way down to the ground. Take your hands out a little wider, tent them and lift your chest. Find cobra. And exhale, lower. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift the chest up. Expand through the collarbones. And then exhale, lower. And hands underneath your shoulders. Find child's pose. So take your knees nice and wide, hips draw back. Forehead can rest on your mat. Maybe close your eyes. And just in this moment of pause, come back to that idea of being right where you are. And letting that be some sort of like new beginning to where you'll be. And being okay with where you have landed at this moment. Thinking about what you'd like to cultivate just a little bit more of right here, wherever you are. Full inhale. Full exhale. Shift your way onto hands and knees. If you want one more round of cat-cow, or if you want to move in that circle clockwise, counterclockwise, take it. And then meet me in a seat. Swing your legs around in front of you. And take your legs out. Give them a little bit of a shake. Make sure you have enough space behind you, but just slowly roll all the way down towards the ground. And take a long body stretch. Arms overhead, toes point forward. And take your arms down along your sides, palms face down. Bend your knees and plant your feet hips width distance. Toes will stay pointing forward. Press down through your feet and just feel your hips rise. Bridge pose. See if you can keep your gaze or your drishti straight up towards the ceiling. Feel the back of your legs work a little bit more as you take one more inhale. And then slowly find your low back into the ground. Heel toe your feet a little wider, knock your knees together, take that constructive rest, maybe even hands to your belly. A big breath in. Long breath out. Staying here as long as you need, or take your arms out like goalposts. Separate the knees. And then just let both of them fall over to the right. And bring them back through center. Let them both fall over to the left. And back through center. If you want, you can even hug your knees in towards your armpits, a little rock side to side. Maybe grab for your feet, happy baby pose. And you can start to set yourself up for your rest. So if being on your back completely is like just a little too much, or you have like congestion or anything that exists in your head, you can grab a pillow, either place it under your head, of course, or maybe even start to create sort of like a ramp by taking one of your blocks, taking your pillow, and just creating a little bit of an elevation. So you can use your block on any height that makes sense, depending on the thickness or the length of your pillow. And then you can lie back on that. So then you just have a little bit of lift in the chest, a little bit of lift in the head, the shoulders, the upper body. So wherever you've chosen to rest here, just take a big breath in. Long exhale. Let your eyes gently close. Allow the toes to soften, the fingers soften. The features of the face soften. And if you notice that your mind wants to travel just to places that are not within the four corners of your mat, be gentle on yourself without any judgment. See if you can bring it back to just the simple sensations that happen when we soften and we release. And giving yourself permission to do so. There's nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to change. For these next few moments. Just allow your next breath to maybe be a little bit bigger than the last one. Start to send that breath all the way to your fingers, to your toes. Wake those parts of your body up, nice and slow. You can bend your knees, roll to the side of your choice. And keeping your eyes closed, maybe even just press yourself up slowly to a seat. Sitting up nice and tall once you're there. And bring your hands together in front of your heart, and even bow your chin towards that space. And of course, honoring all that you've been through, right? That like in the past year, we'll call it, or past years. But then also honoring where you are right now. And maybe setting an intention for just the rest of your day, which then can, of course, lead into the next day, into the next, into the next. But maybe just thinking about not so much the whole entire year, but thinking about what you have right here in this present moment. And then, yes, coming back to that intention, what you'd like to bring in a little bit more of. So, whatever that is, right here, right now, breathe in and out. And then bring your thumb tips to the center of your forehead. Letting this practice, as always, be an act of kindness towards yourself, just moving, breathing, whatever it is that you need. So you can then share that kindness in your own way with others around you. Namaste.